because none of it was local currency. It's just shit that I'd accumulated from God knows how many countries.
And just carry that around with you.
I did at the time when I was hopping countries faster. I would just accumulate this big pile of shit.
All right.
But no, I've got a few bills that are worth like $20 for one of the bills, but it's in South America. My chances of getting back there are fairly slim. So,
With no luck in there?
It's there's good things and bad things, but overall it was you know, there's a lot of, everybody likes to play their music and make noise and shit. They have a very vibrant culture. I'm not into that. I want silence so that I can fucking broadcast or think or whatever.
Fair point.
Yeah, I'm old and crotchety and so fucking salty.
Have you been to Japan?
No, not yet. I would like to go, but it'd be about $200 a day.
What? Why?
Yeah. Well, you're going to be spending, assuming if you want to get a coffin motel with a bunch of like unhappy, sweaty businessmen and shit, where it's literally like you're sleeping in a big coffin with a communal bathroom, that's like $60 to $70 a night. And that's definitely the low end. So you're going to be spending over $100 a day just on lodging. Plus, you're going to need to move around within the country. You're going to want to eat. The food's not horribly expensive, but then you're also going to want to drink sake. Although a lot of people think sake tastes like warm urine, I like it, and it will fuck you up bad, which is another reason I like it. So, yeah. I've computed the cost. It'll end up being about $200 a day.
Damn.
Yeah. South Korea should be quite a bit cheaper, but no, Japan's freaky expensive. But they're all working in jobs that are literally killing them and putting in tons of overtime. And then they develop insanities where they don't want to go outside or have sex with other Japanese people, and so their population is slowly decreasing. Yeah. There's also a condition, I forget what it's called in Japanese, but it's like where people will literally die at work on the job. Just kick over dead.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking that, you know, capitalism's not all good.
Okay, all done.
Rockin'. So, are you guys finished at the forensics?
Oh, I wanted to ask one more thing. What was the detective's reason for being so against having outside help?
He believes it's a local problem with local people and they can solve it locally.
It's a typical response of a small town sheriff or policeman. Or there's another nefarious reason behind it.
Oh, I doubt that, says the coroner. So, you guys head out?
Yep.
You go back to your cars. There's some guy leaning against your car, and it looks like he's talking to one of the inflatable slee stack women in the back seat.
Look at Alex. Someone's talking to your woman.
He rolls a listen roll. He hasn't noticed yet.
I mean, I just ran the car.
So, which one takes your eye?
Hey, you know, me and her were just talking, mister, says the slee stack to you.
What does he look like?
Just some kind of not, possibly a dock worker or something.
You wouldn't want to make a couple of bucks, would you?
Wow. He glances at the inflatable woman and then back at you. What'd you have in mind? He says.
Just a little bit of information.
He looks interested.
So you've obviously probably heard about the recent missing people and then turning up kind of deadish like.
Yes.
Got any extra information that the locals or the authorities might not know about? Make it worth your while.
I'll tell you what, you can keep your money, but this little filly and me, we got business to go do.
Not Janice.
Is that your name? What a pretty name, he says, looking into dead, lifeless, front staring eyes, open mouth expression of the inflatable Sleestack sex doll.
Okay, but you better treat her like a lady.
Of course, he says. He helps her out of the car. And he says, what kind of information were you looking for?
Well, any rumors, any, I'm sure there's probably a lot of rumors going around, but, anything maybe a bit more concrete, maybe an information that's kind of going around the dock workers about, maybe what's doing this or where the bodies might have originally been dumped and washed up.
Well, I've got a name for you, but I don't really know that much about it.
Okay.
People say it's the ghost of Prudence Good or Goody. I don't know. It's got an E on the end. Does that make it Goody or good?
No, it's just good, but that's how they say it with the, Goody. Good.
What a bunch of cocks, he says. I've heard it's that old witch that was drowned there, and now she's taking people down with her. That's what I heard. Come on, Janice. Let's have a night on the town.
Enjoy, you young lads, young people, young things.
Wear protection.
No problem. I've got a knife, he says, and he heads off.
All right.
Where to, Alex? The detective or the husband?
Let's go to the husband first. But we should be, what's the word? Delicate.
I can be delicate.
I know you can. I'm worried about me.
Alright, to the husband.
To the husband.
Cut to, it shows the husband tied to a chair, and Alex is just fucking slapping him back and forth.
Where's your wife? She's dead.
You guys end up getting a meeting with him and such. He's got a young female Sleestack with him who seems very attentive to him and such. And she's like, "Oh, it'll be okay, Mr. Eclair." And he's like, "I don't see how anything could be okay ever again." Both of you guys give me empathy rolls. Lower is better. Oh, and there's a little dog here too. I'll show you a picture of the little dog, but you're going to have to imagine the horn in the middle of its little head too, because...
There's that dog as well, really.
Yes, it's adorable.
I already don't trust him.
You don't trust anybody.
Well, I don't trust the man, and I don't trust people that have got young, fit receptionists that they're probably having an affair with and wanted to get rid of their wives in a way that wouldn't draw attention to them.
That's fair. Right, there's a typical Burlington street corner, which is alarming because it looks a lot like the Burlington you're used to. It's on the lower right, by the way. And there's a adorable picture of Scamp, but he needs his little horn.
Oh, so cute.
Mm-hmm. You guys haven't really done the town or anything. Oh, by the way, further to the left, here's a copy of generally what the map looked like. You don't need to actually be able to zoom in all the way. It's just, here's a complicated map that's completely useless for you.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, thought you'd enjoy a picture of it. But it shows you that it's not just one town with nothing around.
Yeah.
That reassures you a lot.
Alright, so empathy. What?
Yeah. Don't trust
Sure.
biatch.
I'll go back to the art page since you're done looking at those. The dog may or may not be trustworthy as well. You're not sure.
Animal
Both,
empathy.
both of you guys made your empathy at half, huh?
Yeah.
Right. He seems really distraught. She seems like she's moving in, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like now the councilman will be mine.
Does he live in a nice house?
Yes. I mean, it's not over the top nice. I mean, in current modern day terms, this guy probably makes 150,000 a year. So it's nice, but not fucking millionaire status and swimming pools, movie stars, all that shit.
Okay.
Okay.
For our listening viewers, yes, I know you can afford a swimming pool at 100 or 150,000, but I'm just saying it's nice without being ostentatious. So there. Stop sending me PMs. Oh, sorry.
Right. We are deeply sorry for your loss.
He nods and he says, would you like anything to drink?
Yeah, a pint of whiskey, please.
A cup of tea for me. I'm on the job.
Right. He kind of vaguely gestures toward the girl who spends a couple rounds just open mouth toward Alex. And she's like, I'm sorry, could you say that again?
Pint of whiskey.
She goes off.
It's a monkey thing. Don't worry.
She kind of tentatively hands him a fucking full bottle of whiskey in a decanter.
I've got my own decanter, thank you.
No problem. It shows him pouring it from one decanter in there. Give me a alcohol/drug tolerance as you just fucking neck the whole thing. Because he spent longer putting it in a different decanter than he did drinking it. He belches loudly at the end of it. It's one of those epic long belches.
Very nice.
The girl hurries off to go make your fucking tea. She's very supportive of me in my time of grief. She's my secretary.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, if you don't mind me asking, when was the last time you saw your wife?
Well, let's see. It was Logan getting timeline straight. Her body turned up like a couple days ago. It was a couple days before that. So 4 or 5 days ago. He knows exactly how long it's been, but Logan's like,
right. I think you said it was 5 days or something she was in the water.
Oh, I'm sorry, 5 days. So then
it's about a week.
About then. Yeah, it's around 6-7 days ago, but he knows exactly. He's not all vague and shit like, Jesus, I don't know. She's always in and out. No, he knows exactly.
And she was going to walk the dog?
Actually, he pets the little fucking dog and he says, that's right.
Okay.
Does she always walk the dog the same place?
Well, sometimes I walk it. We live close to the lake, and so she sometimes goes on a long walk along the lake.
If you don't mind me being so crass, but if your wife didn't come back, how did the dog make its way back? Did it just know how to come home, or was it brought home by?
Of course, it's a very smart dog.
I give the dog a look of untrust.
The dog looks at you smugly. Out of the window, there's an air picture. You can see the distant barges on the lake. Just barging around, I guess. Doing whatever barges do, going back and forth in the lake. It's a very picturesque type of lake. This is the kind of place where people want to bring like noisy motorboats and jet skis. God, I love a jet ski. And shit like that, and just destroy any kind of silence and serenity.
Does he have a view from his house of the lake?
Yes. Oh, yes.
So that there is kind of the view. So he's quite close to the lake.
The whole town's built along the edge of it.
Yeah.
This is a port town, but it's not like a big town. It's like this main claim to fame of this town is barges come here, drop shit off, take on other shit, and go elsewhere. but shit doesn't come from here. This is just from the road to the barge, and then they fuck off again.
Can you point out on the map what route you normally walk your dog on?
Well, she would take different routes and such.
You don't have a special normal route you take?
No, sometimes she would even go into town instead. I just wish she had done it that night. He starts Sleestack crying.
Yeah,
When she left, was she in any particular mood? Was she in like a normal mood, or was she maybe upset, or?
She said that she would be back because she was going to make brownies.
Sleestack brownies.
Shows little horns in the middle of each brownie.
Okay.
Please, you must find out how this horrible thing happened to my wife.
Of course.
Also, I don't mean to sound crass, but
Did your wife have the most crass thing you can imagine?
Did your wife have any enemies?
Enemies? Oh, no. Everybody loved her. She was the greatest. You hear something like smash on the floor in the kitchen. Woman ever.
Okay. How about more along the lines of, again, not to be too crass, but what about you? You're a prominent man. Maybe is there anyone that you might have in your work maybe made some enemies, or someone who might be looking to take some revenge out on your family?
I don't think he would ever stoop to that. I mean, it was just a disagreement about a zoning thing.
Okay, who's this then?
John Johnson.
John Johnson. And he
son
is...
of John, son of the great John.
And
he's also on the council. We were arguing about a zoning dispute, but I'm sure that has nothing at all to do with this.
Okay. Zoning dispute about what?
Well, he's wanting an area reclassified as a business, but it's within a community of residential. It's because I believe he's wanting to start, or has friends who are wanting to start some sort of bar there, but I put my foot down. He puts down his taloned Sleestack foot and said, no, the people of that neighborhood, they deserve to keep nice, quiet neighborhood. They don't need a bunch of drunken bar. Did you drink all of that? He says, looking at the empty decanter. Let me get you another here.
Oh, thank you.
Monkeys are very good. He's going to try to mix you a special drink.
Oh, yeah.
He just dumps a bunch of alcohol in and brings it to you and watches with interest, see if you'll fucking neck it.
Perfect.
I'm glad that you like it, he says. But no, I'm sure John had nothing to do with this. I mean, sure, we were very angry and it even got into some pushing, but I couldn't imagine her ever doing this.
Did your wife know any of the other victims that were washed up in relation to them?
I'd heard that there was other victims, oopsie daisy, but I don't know them. I forgot the light.
The light. Okay. Well, I think we've taken up enough of your time for now. If we need anything else, we will get in contact with either you or your secretary.
Very well. Thank you so much.
As I
Her
did,
name is
Janet?
Yes.
Okay.
No problem. It shows you guys. It shows him show you out. Close the door.
She's coming in with his tea.
Exactly.
God damn it!
Damn, I take a lot. Why is she so slow at making tea?
Are you wanting to yell that back?
No.
It's so fucking slow.
Where'd you learn how to make fucking tea?
I'm gonna take a sip of the tea, and.
Oh, you were like out in the car by the time the tea
okay.
came in.
She did. Okay, fine.
She doesn't bring it to the car.
Okay, fine.
It'd be funny if she
All
did.
right.
And in the back seat, you're not sure why he rides in the back seat. You see Alex with one blow up doll,
I
three
feel
stack
lonely.
blow up doll.
Okay.
It's just not the same without both of them.
We'll buy you another one. It's fine. Don't worry.
Right. We can either now go to see John Johnson or the cop, the sheriff.
I mean, I think the sheriff, at least just to get their, like, what data they have. Even they might not be very willing to share it with us, but still. Okay, Logan died.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would like to point out there is a piece of good news that they don't have any Sleestack inflatable sex dolls for sale on the internet at this time.
Damn.
I know. I was tempted to buy one and just have it sitting in the background.
Yeah, I don't know. I think just go ask Miss Detective Summers what he knows.
Yeah.
He is, polite as possible, but
if we start finding it like hard to pursue, if we start running out of options, I think we can look into that John Johnson. But I don't think
he's probably just some politician.
Yeah, I can't see why you would murder someone's wife just because over a zoning dispute.
Yeah, and even if he because I'm pretty sure that all of these murders are related, so he would need a reason to kill all of those people.
Kill everyone.
Yeah.
They're all getting in the way of my bar, damn it. I can relate to that.
I know you could.
Okay.
So, to the police station?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's go see the sheriff.
Right. The sheriff?
The detective.
There you go. No problem. You guys...
Every small town cop I call a sheriff. I think it's better. Hey, sheriff. It's like, what the?
Yes. You guys head over to the go to the police station, and you go in. There's a police officer behind the desk, and there's a door that you have to buzz open and stuff. And there's some guy sitting in the chair. He's kind of twitching a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And the police officer looks at you guys.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Hello. I am Detective. I pause for a sec. Freddy. This is Detective Kinley.
Can I see your badges?
Yeah, I've shown the badge.
Ah, you're a PI, not a police detective.
We detect.
Give me a fast talk roll. This may go over as opposed to an attempt to pretend you're a cop.
By a quarter.
Oh, he says. Who are you here to see?
Detective Summers.
He looks at you, cocks his head a little bit to one side. All right. Give me empathy rolls at half. It's really hard to read these fucking Sleestack expressions. Their faces are as mobile as a good rubber mask for some reason.
Just normal.
There it is. Yeah. All right. Just sit over there and wait. I'll let him know you're here.
Okay.
You guys sit down next to Twitchy.
I pick up a magazine or something. Read it while I wait.
No problem. It says.
I get my knitting out.
It's like Cop Life, and it shows like just various pictures of Sleestack brutalizing various people and stuff. The guy Twitchy kind of leans over to you and he goes, "Excuse me, are you holding?"
Perhaps.
Who's that to?
To Freddy.
Cool.
Perhaps. Why?
What are you holding?
That's a personal question.
He looks confused. Ah, he says.
What are you holding?
I'm not. He scratches himself. You got any drugs?
Depends. What are you looking for?
Anything at all. I just need to take the edge off.
I turned to Alex. You still have that whiskey?
Shit. No.
Sorry, all out.
Yeah, he says. No problem. Eventually, a kind of bulky slee stack comes out, and he goes. He glares at you guys. Come on. He lets you into the locked door, takes you back to his office. It says Detective Summers on the door, so you're guessing this might be Detective Summers. He slams his own office door once you're both inside, which is nice of him to wait. And he goes, look, I didn't call you. I don't need your help. I don't want you here.
Tough. We're here. You're going to take our help, and you're going to like it. You see?
He goes over. Right, you guys are having an intimidation off. What's your intimidation there, Kinley?
My intimidation is 69.
So call it 70, difference of 30. So added to 50 is 80. Roll an 80 or less to win your intimidation off.
Yes.
Wow.
Take a check in intimidation. He goes,
you should listen to my partner.
He goes over to Frey and goes, now, what I was saying is I don't want you in the town. So take your partner, the scary one, and go.
I just stare at him like.
Give me an intimidation off. What's your intimidation?
It's not very high.
Well, now's a good chance to get a check.
It is 20.
His is still 40, so it's 20 in his favor. So roll a 30 or less to win the monkey round 2 intimidation off. Woo!
Hey!
No, you didn't do it. So
I did.
It's 20 or less, and you rolled 20 or less.
Okay.
You suck. So anyway, he personally scares you to death. He says, if you get in my way, I'm going to force you to eat your own lips.
Hey, don't pick on my partner like that. You want to see how crazy we are? How much this means to us? Take out a knife, I'll chop my thumb off. That's how crazy it is.
If you really do that, I'll give
Yes.
you a fucking refill.
Yes, I chop my thumb off. How much damage do you want to do?
Just do knife damage, including strength bonus. He's like,
well, knife damage plus strength bonus. Oh, hold on, it's a D8.
Knife normally does D4, and then you get 2 bumps for your strength.
Yeah. So D8. 1.
No problem. He chopped off his thumb, blood's coming out. He goes, ah. Get out of my office and stay out of my way. He is freaked the fuck out. Freddie, give me a Sandy roll. Kinley just chopped off his own fucking thumb.
I mean, I've seen way worse than that.
Yeah, well, you're very. If you make it, it's 0, but shit. I'll get you eventually. So you're like,
Detective Summers, answer questions.
Get the fuck out of my office with your crazy partner. Look at him bleeding all over my shit.
You better answer our questions quick then.
Quick, before I start chopping off more pieces.
I'm going for the other one.
Get out of my office, he demands. Otherwise, I'll have you both placed under arrest by people.
For what?
Bleeding in my office.
That's not a crime.
Littering. He points at the
Littering?
Thumb. He points at the thumb laying on his desk.
Pick up your thumb.
And tampering with evidence.
What?
He points at where the thumb used to be.
You're crazy. You're crazy. You know that? Crazy.
Me? Just shows blood.
Mr. Leclerc asked us personally to come and speak to you. You wouldn't want to disappoint a councilman. Now, do you?
Nice.
Give me a fast talk roll. He really does, actually.
Uh-huh.
He says, he'll get over it. I'll let him know if I get anything. We haven't gotten anywhere yet, but we're still looking into it. It's an ongoing investigation. Now, get out of
Okay. Okay, we'll let you know when we solve it. All right.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fool.
You guys
Let's go.
need
Let's
to
go,
tell
Freddy.
blood.
This guy's useless.
Not want to plan an early retirement.
Ooh. Damn.
He shakes his fist at you.
We've made a new enemy.
Alright.
Yes,
I
I
agree.
love new enemies.
You guys head back out to number 13, the car.
Let's get back in the car.
No problem. You're still bleeding and you've got a thumb in your pocket for some reason.
I get back in the car and start thrashing around again.
All right.
I cast restoration on my thumb. And I play It's a Crit.
Oh, wow.
So.
He definitely had a fucking method to his goddamn madness.
And as it is my 9th spell in the tree, then I must gain the last and final healing tree, finally completing the healing
Actually,
tree.
restoration self is the 8th level spell. Next is the 9th level spell, and that is suspended animation.
Holy crap. Where have I got? I've got one. Has it changed then, the tree?
Quite possible.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I just read them out and you tell me which one's not there anymore, then I've got Cure Poison Disease Self.
Yep.
Awaken.
Yep.
Calm.
Yep.
Cure Poison Disease Other.
Yep.
Give MP.
Yep.
Regeneration of hit point self.
Yep.
Regeneration of hit point other.
Nope. That now branches off of it. Then it goes regenerate magic point self.
Yeah, I've got both of those then. I must have branched off at some
And then
point.
it goes to restoration.
Yeah.
And then suspended animation. So.
Oh, sweet. That sounds sweet.
I will copy paste it.
Do you have a limited retreat, by the way? Or any retreat?
No.
Damn it.
I'll show you how serious we are. Just take a fucking refill for freaking the cop out so much he couldn't even fucking threaten you officially.
I need that crit.
Don't worry, we'll get it covered up nice and quick here.
I need that crit.
You need that crit.
My nipples are exploding with pleasure. There's your suspended animation as well.
Thank you. Animation.
Oh, it also only works on NPCs because PCs disappear after they die for reasons. But they're back for the sequel. Hopefully.
God damn, 16 MP. That's a big one. 10 rounds. And range 1 meter.
You can just copy paste it if you want.
Yeah, well.
Oh, you're filling in your sheet. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I'm going to copy and paste its duration because that's like huge. Copy. Paste. Right. Nice. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And you've still got the level 10 spell left to go on that tree.
No, it's not I was there, but that's all right. Next time.
Yeah,
So find
level
a load
10
of
spell
people.
is just a weird one where you're basically that's when you move into hurling life magic.
Yeah, heal butt. Heal butt.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, you can healing. Yeah.
Nice.
You throw healing magic.
A
In combat as well.
Paladin.
You need that one. That one's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So close. So close. Alright, I need to find a load of people to put into suspended animation.
That's easy. Just walk up. Hello.
Let me put
Well,
your
it
hand.
has a lot of different things you can put on it. You know, till kiss, till
Yeah.
somebody has sex with them, whatever.
That's
I mean,
cool. I like that.
yeah. Well, it's wide open. Also, congratulations on, I believe you are the highest in the healing tree currently, as you are the party paladin.
I believe so, yeah. I don't know if there's anyone else that's got up to
No, they haven't.
the,
You can go down to
All right,
lake
well,
in general, but it is
let's
like almost as
see.
big as one of the Great Lakes.
Let's see where the lake begins and follow it downstream.
It's not a stream; it's a lake, like the Great Lakes are lakes.
Okay, there's no current at all.
There may be, but it's not an obvious current.
no,
Uh,
I mean the Michigan Great Lakes of Michigan. Well, the Great Lakes, not just Michigan, but I think the biggest one is it Superior, and that has its own tidal system because it's that big.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, lakes can't have them.
well, I mean, you can just throw a rock in the lake and see which way it goes. That's
You
probably
throw
where.
the rock in the lake. You guys sit there and watch it sink out of sight, wondering which way the current will take it.
Do you want to ask one of the dot workers? They
Yeah.
probably know.
I'm saying, let's just ask one of the.
Yeah.
These guys, if they're on boats all the time, they'll know exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Well, you go to one of them, and they go, "Wow, current," he says.
No, not you, the other one.
Oh, you go to the other guy, and he goes, currents are different at different places and different levels and stuff. You probably want to go to that fancy pants university and ask them if you got something.
If a heavy object was to wind up around here somewhere, where would it start from?
I don't know. The only currents I normally deal with are the ones that are on the top of the water. There's different levels of currents and stuff. Like I said, there's a university. You go down that street, and he gives you directions to it.
All right.
Okay, thanks. To the
It's the
university.
university.
You guys burst into the university, demanding somebody to tell you about currents. Is Janice number 2 or whatever her name is going to wait in the car?
Yeah.
Didn't know if you're going to carry her around with you. Okay. By the way, as you're going through the town, there's a lot of weird champ stuff here and there. Apparently, it's a really big deal here.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys also see this sign. I doubt you'll be able to read all the fine print, but it'll give you a good idea.
Yeah, there's no actually.
Champ sightings.
Yeah, there's been enough champ sightings and stuff that. Oh, and also in the lower right, here's a picture of the Burlington waterfront that you want to see. And for no good reason at all, here's a picture of one of the miscellaneous barges you got to see. Yeah.
So,
You guys wander around the university yelling at people, or?
Well,
probably need like a professor or something.
We talk as we go in.
Yeah.
I'm wondering wonder if this is one of these cases where like a kind of nutty local or something who wants to drum up business. We should probably be looking for people that would benefit from bringing in tourism to see this Loch Ness monster of theirs.
I mean, Alex, we've been on a case here before, and it looked like a pretty straightforward case, and it turned out to be some weird cult person
True.
with magic.
True.
So we might also want to look while we're here in the university into this Prudence Good Ghost. See what that's all about.
I've heard of before people willing to go to extremes in order to make their businesses work. So if that means killing and maiming some people to make it look like a monster did it.
Oh, yeah. Maybe there's a bit more to this to John Johnson. Then.
No problem. You guys go in. There's eventually a receptionist, and she says, "Hello, may I help you?"
Yes, we need to speak to someone about currents of the lake.
We're detectives from the Henry Young Agency. So my badge.
I see. She looks at it. That's a very nice badge, she tells you. Have you already checked out with the dock manager, Robert Ball? She gives you directions back from when
we were told by people at the docks to come here.
Oh, well, if you wish, but Robert Ball, he's the dock manager. I know he knows everything about the currents.
Great, thank you.
You're sure about this?
Of course, she reassures Freddie with a glint in her fucking sleeve stack eye.
All right.
Go back to the
Back
docks.
to the dock.
You guys take your weird rattling car back to the docks, and you eventually track down Robert Ball. He is literally surrounded by Champ memorabilia.
There you go.
Stuffed animals, all kind of weird shit. He also has some strange photographs and stuff. I'll show you a copy of one of them. And
Guilty.
here's what it looks like. And he even has the title of the photograph. What's that dark thing in Lake Champlain? Oh, and also uncover a picture of the university you guys were just at, because there you go.
What? Okay.
How can I help you? He says. Good to meet you. I'm Robert Ball. How can I be of assistance?
So,
are you the ferries, or?
We're doing a little investigative work.
I understand. We have folks like you in all the time. I am the foremost authority, and I'd be happy to help you out. He says Champ was first discovered back.
No,
fine. No, let him go.
Okay.
Yeah.
He looks confused. He's like, he doesn't look. He puts his hand on Frey's shoulder. Champ's nothing to be scared of.
Yeah, it's okay.
He's been around for a long time. I mean, he's just like a friendly neighborhood. I don't know what, but yeah. And
please continue.
Certainly. He says, there is a small matter of my remuneration. He points at a sign that lists off exactly how much it is. Couple of points, or for like $6, or full briefing for $12.
Does he also do a tour of the lake?
Yes, he can. That's an extra $20 of gas.
Let's do the $12 to start with.
No problem.
You pay him.
Yeah.
I paid for the gas.
Yeah, like Alex Kinley
I'll give him
cares.
$12.
All right, there you go. He tells you all that shit. I'll let whoever wants to read it read it. Enjoy.
Let's say.
Go, Freddie. You haven't gotten to do one of these before.
No.
You'll be all right.
Some historians place the earliest sighting of the creature by a European with Samuel de Champlain, after whom the lake is named. Champlain is supposed to have mentioned the creature in a chronicle he wrote in minus 200 years ago. A careful reading of the text, though, shows that the animal described by Champlain might have been a large garfish rather than a monster. After Champlain's initial report, there are no champ reports for over 200 years. The area around Lake Champlain, with the exception of Burlington, was sparsely settled until the early 100 years ago, when there was a large 150,000 and sudden influx of settlers. It is not unusual for encounters between flea stacks and wildlife to increase when flea stacks start to pressure the habitat. Baal can volunteer that most wild animals, especially predators, prefer to avoid flea stacks unless they can no longer help it. One of the earliest reported sightings occurred in 90 years ago, when early settlers reported seeing a large beast of some sort stick its head out of the water and flee quickly. Reports of the monster start showing up in large numbers in newspapers around 50 years ago. This coincides with the advent of regular steamboat traffic on the lake. According to a 50 years ago story in the New York Times, a railroad work crew was laying track near Dresden, New York, when they saw the head of an enormous serpent emerge from the water. After a moment of paralyzing shock, the workmen ran away. The creature, in turn, swam away. Witnesses reported that the animal had bright, silver-like scales that glistened in the sun. The appearance of his head was round and flat, with a hood spreading out from the lower part of it like a rubber cap often worn by mariners. In August of that same year, a small steamship loaded with tourists allegedly struck the creature and nearly turned over. According to newspaper accounts, the head and neck of the animal were sighted afterward about 100 feet from the ship. 50 years ago, there were several sightings reported, including a yachting party and 3 University of Vermont students. The 3 students reportedly saw about 15 feet worth of monster above the water. Reports appeared in the newspapers for the rest of that century. In July of 37 years ago, the Clinton County Sheriff saw an enormous snake or water serpent, which he estimated to be 7 to 10 meters long. 37 years ago, a farm boy spotted the creature making noises like a steamboat a mile out in the lake. That same year, a group of picnickers near Charlotte, Vermont, reported seeing an animal 23 meters long and big around as a barrel out in the water. Also in 37 years ago, a group of picnickers at Lone Rock Point saw Champ coming around the bend, getting spooked when people screamed and fleeing under the waves. While on board the steamer, the spirit of Ethan Allen in 36 years ago, 80 people saw a greenish-brown, 10-meter-long monster that had several humps. In 36 years ago, a gentleman was duck hunting when he saw a giant serpent-like creature with legs curled up on shore. When he moved slightly, it ferociously reared its head and crashed its way through the bushes. Another group of picnickers at Lone Rock Point were startled and disappeared in 28 years ago, scattering canoeists. In 5 years ago, according to the New York Times, a couple of witnesses supposedly got a look at a 40-foot specimen
I tried to
floundering.
get stuffed tomatoes. I missed one. Sorry.
Okay, 40-foot specimen floundering in the mud on the New York side of the lake. It moved surprisingly quickly, however, and fled under the water, heading for Vermont. Bob Ball has spent a lot of time trying to find these people without success. He doubts that they exist. Most reports describe Champ as anywhere between 3 to 70 meters long, with 1 to 4 or more humps, or up to 5 arcing coils. Colors reported range from black to a dark head and white body, like an orca, to gray to black and gray to brown. Some have described the beast as furry, drab, or shiny, or even slimy.
So all of the above.
Yeah, pretty much.
Also, in celebration of you guys each giving him giving him a total of the money, he gives you each a chintzy cheap champ keychain. Just so you're aware, this guy is also an employee of Burlington Port Authority, who manages the city dock.
Okay.
And he's got like framed newspaper articles, copies of history books, loads of blurry photographs. It could be pretty much anything, as well as toy sea serpents in his office. There you go.
So
That should have whetted your appetites to get out there and see Champ.
I'm guessing business has picked up lately since this has all been happening.
Since what all's been happening?